Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Christensen Wealth Management Podcast of the LPL Research Weekly Economic Commentary, dated January 22nd, 2018. This commentary is titled Beige Book, Window on Main Street. It was written by John Lynch, Chief Investment Strategist of LPL Financial, and Barry Gilbert, PhD and CFA, Asset Allocation Strategist of LPL Financial. Beige Book suggests continued moderate economic growth. The latest edition of the Federal Reserve's Fed Beige Book, released Wednesday, January 17, 2018, continued to deliver a positive view of the U.S. economy. The Beige Book is a qualitative assessment of the domestic economy in each of the 12 Fed districts individually. The report is prepared 8 times per year, ahead of each Federal Open Market Committee FOMC meeting, the next of which is set to take place from January 31st to February 1st, 2018. We believe that the Beige Book is best interpreted by measuring how key words change over time. The qualitative inputs for the January 2018 Beige Book were collected in the weeks prior to January 8th, 2017. Sentiment Snapshot. We created our proprietary Beige Book Barometer, see Figure 1, to evaluate the sentiment behind the entire Beige Book collage of data. The BBB, or Beige Book Barometer, is a diffusion index measuring the number of times the word strong or its variants appear in the Beige Book, less the number of times the word weak or its variants appear. When the BBB is declining, it suggests that the economy is deteriorating. When it's advancing, it suggests that the economy is improving. See Figure 1. In January 2018, the barometer climbed from a November reading of positive 53 to positive 62, close to the positive 64 average for all of 2017. This movement brings the barometer back into the middle of the range it has held since 2012. The number of weak words declined, nearly hitting a low for the expansion, which drove most of the improvement. See Figure 2. Meanwhile, strong words remain well off the peak hit in the middle of 2015. Historically, a solid base of strong words has been sufficient to indicate steady expansion as long as weak words are low, with a spike in strong words often indicating acceleration off of a period of weakness. Hurricane impact declining. Tax reform getting attention. The United States felt the devastating impact of Hurricane Harvey in late August and Hurricane Irma in early September, marking the first time 2 Category 4 or stronger magnitude hurricanes have made landfall within the country in the same year. The hurricanes remain an important story, as regional recovery and rebuilding provides a small boost to the economy, but the attention given to the economic impact has slowly declined. The words hurricane or weather appeared in the Beige Book 65 times in October, 37 times in November, and 15 times in the most recent version. Meanwhile, taxes, which usually go unmentioned, appeared 4 times in the November Beige Book and 23 times in the most recent edition, as Main Street tries to gauge the impact of the new tax law. Watching wages and inflation. Market participants continue to monitor inflation and wages closely as they gauge not just when, but how far and how fast the Fed might raise rates in the next year and beyond. Each Beige Book provides an economy-wide assessment of wages and prices. On wages, the January 2018 Beige Book observes, most districts cited ongoing labor market tightness and challenges finding qualified workers across skills and sectors, which, in some instances, was described as constraining growth. Several districts noted elevated demand for manufacturing and construction labor. Most districts said that wages increased at a modest pace. On price pressures, it observes, most districts reported modest to moderate price growth since the last report. Reports of pricing pressures were mixed across the country, although several districts noted increases in manufacturing, construction, or transportation input costs. Firms in some districts noted an ability to increase selling prices. Retailers in some districts reported modest price increases, and there were reports of rising home prices across most of the country. Agriculture and energy commodity prices were mixed. We monitor wage and price pressures via our inflation barometer, which is a simple count of the number of times wage and inflation words such as wage, skilled, shortage, widespread, and rising appear in the Beige book. Consistent with the moderate price growth noted in the Beige book's overview, words related to inflation climbed modestly in January to plus 121, nearly matching the 2017 average of plus 122. See Figure 3. The count of wage/inflation words has held at this level following a brief spike to plus 136 in July. The current level remains meaningfully above the 2015 to 2016 average, signaling that we are seeing some wage pressure, but that the impact on price levels remains modest. Conclusion. The level of the January 2018 Beige Book Barometer has been historically associated with continued economic expansion. The count of weak words came in near expansion lows, while positive words held steady. The attention given to Hurricanes Harvey and Irma has declined, although the hurricanes remain significant events for the impacted regions, while Main Street exhibited an overall positive response to the new tax law. We may need positive sentiment to rise if we are to see acceleration beyond the barometer's current level, but the overall positive tone in the context of a low level of negative words reflects continued optimism on Wall Street. Conclusion. The level of the January 2018 Beige Book Barometer has been historically associated with continued economic expansion. The count of weak words came in near expansion lows, while positive words held steady. The attention given to Hurricanes Harvey and Irma has declined, although the hurricanes remain significant events for the impacted regions, while Main Street exhibited an overall positive response to the new tax law. We may need positive sentiment to rise if we are to see acceleration beyond the barometer's current level, but the overall positive tone in the context of a low level of negative words reflects continued optimism on Main Street. The end. Thank you again for tuning in to this podcast of the LPL Weekly Economic Commentary. You can find a link to this research report in the summary section of this YouTube video, and you can also find it at christensenwealth.com under the Research tab. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.